I once canoed across Africa, and there's not many people can say that,
No.
Gloria.
Was it a pleasurable experience to be canoed across?
I got very wet pants, and it's not trench bottom I got, which is very, very unattractive.
It's better than something else you could have had.
Well, yes, I don't wish to discuss, but I think the cameraman got it. And anyway, we were canoeing across Africa, and we went into parts of Africa where there are no elephants at all now, none at all. And then we were canoeing in Zimbabwe, and I suddenly smelled the most appalling smell, just unbelievable. And I said, can we just stop? Because I've never smelled anything. It was so disgusting. And we got off, and you have to be careful, because there's a lot of things in Africa that want to kill you.
That's true.
And wisely, because it's their place, it's not your place. And so we got off, and in the middle of a clearing on a small island in this part of the Zambezi was an elephant that, within the last hour, had been killed. And it had just had its whole face hacked off. It had just gone. It was just
horrible,
sliced through. And the smell was overpowering. The elephant was still warm. Put my hand on it. And I just... Oh, it was unbelievable.
From there on, you wanted to do something positive.
I just wanted to do something. You know, if an elephant was born on the same day as you, it would live as long as you, Gloria. These are wonderful creatures. The mother is very much in charge. She's the matriarch. She's up there leading everybody. They have strong family ties. They grieve when one of their own dies. They care for each other. They bring their children up until they're teenagers, you know. Some of us, of course, bring us up rather longer, but they really have a strong family tie, and what's happening is that not only are we killing the big elephants for the ivory, and, you know, why can't we make piano keys out of something else now?
Well, exactly. I mean, I would have thought, actually, that since, you know, the lobby has been going on, that in a way there was a great feeling of anti-ivory anyway, as you say. Who wants it in chess sets or piano keys or whatever. But why is it so popular in Japan, do you
think? It's very difficult because there's a great tradition of it. One of the things that they use it for, they make little markers so that when you sign a letter, for example, or a legal document, you make a little marker with an ivory stamp. Now, I absolutely appreciate other people's traditions, and it's very complicated, but in these days of wonderful resins and plastics and so on, you know, find something else.
Actually, I was just thinking about, you know, all the travelling that you do anyway. I mean, it would appear that since you were very small, you were travelling around, because your father was a foreign correspondent, wasn't he? He
was. He was foreign correspondent for Danish television, like we had lots of them. He was the foreign correspondent for Danish television, because it's a very small country. And we only had the one man who travelled around, and that was my dad. So we spent quite a lot of time in Africa, reporting from there, and then we spent quite a lot of time at the UN, because the idea was that if something went wrong in the world, there'd be somebody there that you could talk to. So I basically grew up in New York.
Do you remember any kind of special events or moments that he took you to, and you thought, in your own head, I'm lucky actually to be here to witness all of this?
Oh, well, I mean, incredible things. My father wasn't a great believer in school. He thought it was rather dreary.
Oh, did he? That was rather handy as a child, wasn't it?
Wise man. And so things like Apollo 11, which was, of course, the Apollo shot to the moon. I was at Cape Kennedy when the rocket took off.
Actually there?
I was actually there. I saw it go off. I was a mile and a half from the rocket, which was as close as any human being not protected by a lot of things was allowed to be. And I was actually in space control, in mission control, in Houston when they landed on the moon. So,
how amazing.
Extraordinary experiences. My father was there when Robert Kennedy was killed, and he phoned us directly, Martin Luther King. I mean, all these kind of extraordinary moments of history. That I took part in, and my father gave me a great love of participating in the world and seeing what you can do to make the world a slightly better place.
Here you are still fighting on behalf of the elephants.
Well, absolutely, and I mean, I think he would have been proud. Funnily enough, my dad collected elephants. It was his sort of thing. He was obsessed with collecting little elephants from all over the world. So we have a great kind of collection of them at home. So it's been a symbol in my life. Always.
Talk about today is a very good cause, and Sandi, it's very, very nice to see you. And when's the next series of Call My Bluff back?
We start recording in May. We will be making record 4 a day for 4 days, and then Alan Corrin and I are taken dribbling from the building.
Wasn't that a television marriage made in heaven? Seriously
adore that man.
I mean, the relationship is so fantastic.
Yes.
So had you met him prior to the programme?
No, I'd never met him before, and we just love each other to bits. And our idea of heaven is to lie in bed eating hamburgers and watching old movies.
What, together?
Well, with nothing happening, I have to say, fully clothed, obviously. Fully clothed.
Well, I think
you'd know that if you'd read the tabloids.
Well, I think this is the first, really. This is a rather interesting slant at both Sandi Toksvig and Alan Corran.
But I'm going to enlist you, Gloria. I'm going to enlist you. We need a petition. 2.5 million signatures we need for Born Free. Please,
well, you can start with our audience today. I know they'll sign your petition.
By March the 27th, we really have to stop this ban on ivory poaching. Please sign. 2.5 million signatures. There's a website for the Born Free organisation. Please, everybody needs to do the best they can.
Well said, Sandi. Thank you very much, indeed. Thank you for joining us. Sandi Toksvig.
Thanks, Gloria.